Chapter 2. Who is the man who rides past? Kirsty, do you want to hear a story? Anne-Marie asked as they snuggled in bed. Yes, tell me a fairy tale, Kirsty said. Anne-Marie smiled. All Danish children loved fairy tales. Their most famous storyteller, Hans Christian Andersen, was from Denmark. Do you want the story of the Little Mermaid? Anne-Marie asked. That was her favorite. No, Kirsty said, shaking her head. Tell me about a king and queen, and they have a beautiful daughter. Okay, Anne-Marie said. Once upon a time, there was a king. And a queen, Kirsty added sleepily. And a queen, Anne-Marie agreed. They lived in a beautiful palace, and... What is Amalienborg Palace? Kirsty asked. Shh, no. It was a pretend palace, Anne-Marie said. She told a story about a king and a queen and their daughter, Princess Kirsty. There were big parties, golden dresses, and pink frosted cupcakes. But before Anne-Marie could finish, Kirsty fell asleep. Anne-Marie lay in bed, staring out the window at the dark night. She thought about King Christian X, the real king of Denmark. Everyone loved King Christian. He wasn't like fairy tale kings who just sat on a throne. He rode his horse, Jubilee, through the streets every morning greeting people. When Anne-Marie was little, her big sister Lise used to take her to see the king ride past. One time, he even waved at them. Now you're special forever, Lise had told her. Anne-Marie sighed. Thinking about Lise always made her sad. She had died 2 years ago. She thought about a story Papa had told her. One morning, King Christian rode past a group of people. A German soldier saw him and asked a Danish boy, "Who is that man on the horse?" "He is our king," the boy answered. "Where is his bodyguard?" the soldier asked. The boy stood tall and said, "All of Denmark is his bodyguard." When Papa told her this story, Anne-Marie had shivered. "Is it true, Papa?" she asked. Papa thought for a moment. Then he nodded. "Yes, it is true. Every Danish person would protect the king." "You too, Papa?" "Yes," Papa said. "And Mama?" "Mama too," he said. Anne-Marie had shivered again. "Then I would too, Papa," she whispered. Now lying in bed, she thought about that moment. That night, long ago, she had asked Papa another question. Why didn't the king fight the Nazis? Papa had sighed. "We are a small country, Anne-Marie. The Nazis are too big. If we had fought, many people would have died." "In Norway they fought," Anne-Marie said. Yes, Papa had nodded. But Norway has big mountains. The Norwegian soldiers could hide. Even then, Norway was still defeated. "Are there German soldiers in Norway now?" "Yes," Papa had said. "And in Holland? In France?" "Yes," Mama had answered from across the room. "But not in Sweden," Anne-Marie said proudly. Sweden was across the water from Denmark. She had seen it from her Uncle Henrik's house. "That is Sweden," Uncle Henrik had told her. "It is free." That was 3 years ago, and Sweden was still free. But Denmark had changed. King Christian was old now. Last year he had fallen off his horse and gotten hurt. Everyone had been afraid he would die. But he didn't. Lise had died instead. In the dark room, Anne-Marie looked at the big wooden chest in the corner. It held Lise's things, her wedding dress, her pillowcases, and the yellow dress she wore when she danced with Peter. Mama and Papa never opened the chest, but sometimes when she was alone, Anne-Marie did. She would touch Lise's things and remember her big sister. Peter had been engaged to Lise. He used to be fun and playful. He would joke and sing silly songs. But now he was different. He still visited, but he was serious. He had talked in whispers with Mama and Papa. He never stayed long. Papa had changed too. He looked tired. The world had changed, but fairy tales stayed the same. Anne-Marie whispered softly, and they lived happily ever after. Beside her, Kirsty sucked her thumb and slept.